Hey guys, what's up? It's Natalie again. Sorry, no, not sorry. I made this cute little braid, but my hair looks kind of a mess. But anyway, I'm gonna unbraid it. But, I just wanted to talk about something on this video that some of y'all might relate to. So it's kind of been on my mind a lot. But as a single woman, I kind of just want to talk about it a little bit. Let's talk about it, let's sit down, let's talk about it. Yeah, so, basically, let's see. So I've been single going on 7 years in July. And I want to talk about how it feels to be single when you wish you could find somebody. I have to say it's definitely been hard. 'Cause a few months after my breakup, my cousin, whom he was dating this girl at the time, and now they're married. They were expecting a child together. And, and then I had a lot of other family friends having babies and stuff. And I was still going through the sadness of my breakup and being dumped and, being let go. And it's been very tough. Like, I've tried putting myself out there, but I can't seem to really get anywhere when it comes to dating. And as being an autistic person, it's even harder to really find somebody who you want to be with. And I don't know, like, I'm also very picky. Like, I've had some men be interested in me, but they're not the right guys for me. Like, they're either not independent or they're shorter than me. I won't date guys that are shorter than me. I just feel awkward, and it's just not just a preference. And I feel like, it's okay to be picky, I feel like, because you want to meet a guy that's good, that treats you right, and makes you feel good about yourself, and makes you feel like you're worth it. And I've been going through a lot of bad self-esteem phases where, I go through these self-esteem phases where I feel bad about myself, where I don't think I'm pretty, I don't think I'm good looking enough, why aren't men into me? But I also realize as well that I'm also quite shy around guys. Like, having crushes or, like, feelings for guys, it makes me feel uncomfortable. And, I don't know, it's just and I think it's just an autism thing or a sensory thing. But I'm also kind of scared just because of how my ex treated me, and with the whole jail thing. That's really kind of what made me kind of, like, feel like, like, wanting to accept myself and everything. And, we all make mistakes in life, and I know with the whole threatening my ex and the whole jail thing, that was definitely a mistake, but I learned from it, and I was not in a good place. I was angry, upset, but looking back, I realized that my ex and I were just not meant to be together. We weren't meant for each other. We weren't really compatible at the time, so to speak. And I've let him go. I don't hold any anger or hatred towards him anymore. I don't like a lot of the stuff he did to me, but I also realize that may have just been also coming from stuff that we both wanted and that he wasn't getting. And also, the age difference was a little bit of a factor, I think, too, because he's 8 years and 2 weeks exactly older than me. And, I feel like at the time I was only 22 and he was 30, and I feel like that was a really big gap, so I would not date a guy that was 8 years older than me. The oldest I'll go to is probably, like, 36, 36. Or the youngest I'll probably go is probably like 24, 23. I actually kind of like younger guys now. I don't know why, but because, like, I feel like they're more, like, I feel like younger guys have more charisma and outgoing, and I know a lot of girls do like younger men, and that's okay. People think I'm like, people say I look like I'm 20, or like 21 or 19, and I'm just like, I wish, but I'll be 30 this year. I'll actually be 30 at the end of June. It's crazy to think I'll be 30 in less than 2 months, but anyway, going back. So yeah, I'm the youngest daughter in the family, and I'm the youngest of 2 daughters. And my older sister, she got married about a little over a year and a half ago now. And her and her now husband, they were together for about total they were together for about 8 years. And then it was about 6.5 years later that they got engaged. And I have to say, like, when my sister got engaged, I was really happy for her because I love my brother-in-law. He's a great guy. He's a lawyer. He's doing a lot of good things in his life, and he's fun. He loves sports. It's great. And I think he partly got me back into sports. Like, we never talked about sports, but I feel like that's how I got back into sports. And like liking sports and everything, but basically, it was definitely a hard time when my sister got engaged because, like, everybody was, like, around her, and a lot of her, husband's friends are married or have kids, and, and I felt like, I was, I felt kind of sad because, like, I've been single for so long, and sometimes I felt like I've always wanted to be the center of attention, and it's like when somebody, is going through some event like this, I feel like I'm kind of ignored in a way because, like, I'm different mentally, and, like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes that I'm kind of forgotten about a little bit, even though I'm loved. I still feel like people kind of forget about me. And it's hard, like, it's not easy, and, like, because I've always been like, man, I would just love to find somebody that would actually love me for who I was, and I would be like, I wish I could find somebody I just wish it would be a lot easier for me to date, as I'm on the spectrum, and just everything about other people just gets me really, I strive to be, like, wanting to be neurotypical and stuff, and, I just feel like, it's hard to get myself out there, and so I have, like, all this, like, oh man, I just wish I was with somebody, but I also realize that my sister does have a few most of her close friends are actually single, and a lot of them are not, some of them are even not in the happiest relationships. But yeah, it's not easy being, single when it's kind of like, and I'm not comparing, and I don't want to, like, put people down by saying this, but I also feel like it's kind of like a woman struggling with infertility, kind of in that way, like, this woman sees all these other women pregnant with their husbands celebrating all those good moments and all happy, but deep down they're sad because they can't get pregnant, or they had a miscarriage, or they're struggling with infertility and struggling to get pregnant. And I completely sympathize. And any woman that's watching this, that's seeing this movie, that's struggled with infertility, my heart goes out to you, because I know how it must feel. You really want your own child and everything. Well, I can sympathize, but I also feel like with my situation, it's like I see all these people in my family and relationships are happy, and then I feel a deep sense of sadness down because I'm like, man, I can't even find anybody. Like, nobody seems to be into me, that I want and, want to be with. And I remember, this is a little bit of a personal story, but, my cousins on my dad's side of the family, his younger brother has 3 kids. The oldest son has a relationship with this girl he met a grocery store job in Chicago. And he's been with her for a while, and I met her at the wedding. Really nice girl that he's dating. And my cousin's excellent, great guy. And then his younger sister, my cousin, she has been dating this guy for a few years, I think about 3 years. And so seeing them at the wedding, like, kind of like doing the not the PDA, but like, you know, just being on each other and, you know, being in love and everything, it made me really, it made me feel sad, because I felt like I didn't know how to communicate. And me and my only girl cousin, we have a strained relationship. We're not in contact. She blocked me on social media. But she's also going through a hard time, and I think she's being, like, pressured into getting married with her, or, like, she's not ready for marriage yet, but he wants to get married, but I don't think she's ready for that. And, you know, I guess she didn't like all the negativity from my Facebook post, so she just, like, unfriended me and declined my friend request, and I got upset with her, and I started saying mean things to her because I was just really upset and sad, because, you know, I want to find the love of my life as well. I want to be with somebody. And it's, you know, I don't know how to describe it. And the fact with how my ex broke up with me, because I loved him so much. I wanted to make I wanted to make the relationship work, and he didn't want to come back. He just left. And then when he ended up getting engaged and marrying another woman, that also really hurt, and I was angry for a long time. And I was just questioning to myself, why am I single? Like, why can I not find anybody? And, you know, I felt like everybody was on with my sister and everything, and of course it was her wedding. But, like, deep down with myself, I felt very sad, because it's like, man, I can't even find a man that's really into me that I want. And it's been a real struggle seeing, like, all these people getting married, getting engaged, finding the right person, getting that beautiful ring, planning a wedding. I want that too, and it's hard because I'm almost 30, and when I see younger people having babies and getting engaged who are younger than me, it makes me jealous, and I'm trying not to sound mean or anything, but it makes me feel jealous deep down. But I don't want to feel jealous, if you get my drift there. Like, I don't want to feel that way, but it's like, it doesn't feel good. And I've, you know, and I kind of, like, and I went to a speed dating event last fall, and, it, I didn't match up with anybody because I never got an email. I never got an email about, if I matched up with anybody. And yeah, it's always been tough, like, you know, and with guys that I've been interested in, they were not interested in me. Like, when I worked at Publix, there was a guy that I really liked in the grocery department, and when I found out he had transferred to the other Publix store, I took a letter to Publix, telling him that I kind of liked him, and, you know, if they wanted to exchange numbers. And I don't know, I kind of feel embarrassed talking about it, but he never responded to the letter, and he never, responded or anything. And then a girl that I used to work with kind of was squinting her eyes and telling me that he didn't feel the same way, or he didn't feel the same way, you know, and it came from her, it didn't come from him. And I would have rather him told me that he wasn't interested. Maybe he had a girlfriend at the time. That's possible that he didn't respond, but I tried really hard to get somebody at least. And, like, I felt like, well, And then a few months later, I told somebody that I used to work with at Publix as well that I liked him and everything. And then she told me he had a girlfriend, and I'm like, okay. And again, this was like 2.5 years ago, so I don't know if he's still with the woman, but in some ways I still like him, but I also realize that I have to move on with my life. But dating has definitely been a struggle. It's been a real nightmare because I've been wanting to like just get myself out there and meet the right person, and it's hard. It is not easy. And I still wonder, like, and I have a lot of envy, and I know that's like one of the 7 sins, and I believe envy is not I believe envy is not a good thing to feel. Um, and I really don't want to feel jealousy anymore. And it's just hard when, you see family members in relationships and they're all happy, and yet you're not with anybody, and then it feels like people aren't into your life unless you have somebody. And it's hard. It's not easy, and I have a lot of bad self-esteem, and I'm still trying to recover from my past breakup and everything, because like I was so hopeful that we would get married and have a family and everything, and unfortunately it just didn't turn out that way. And I have to just accept that me and my ex were not right for each other, and I think we would have just been better off as friends if things could have worked out differently. But you just gotta move on, I guess. Let it go, because it's better to let it go and not hold on to the hate or hold on to the sadness that you have any longer. So, I mean, I hope at this point in my life, I'm not expecting to find the right guy. I'm really not. I'm just at the point now where I'm just kind of like, if there's a guy that likes me, and I understand this to be true in my heart, if a guy really likes you, he will make every attempt to try to find out about you, to like say, oh, I'm interested in this girl. That's how I feel personally. I feel like if a guy isn't into you, then he's not gonna make a move. So, because if he really is, then why wouldn't he? And one thing that upset me, my aunt, when I told her about like how I was feeling with like being in a relationship and everything, she said something like, well, oh, yes, your siblings are in romantic relationships right now, and that's not something that you have. And I know she wasn't meaning anything bad, but that really hurt me, because it's like, well, okay, you're just making me feel more bad now, because it's like, I didn't do anything to not deserve somebody. And it's like, well, it's like, and then somebody's like thinking to myself, well, maybe I'm not worth it. Maybe that's why maybe I'm meant to be single. Maybe that's God's plan. But I look at it this way. I say to myself, I'm not expecting to find anybody at this age. I mean, I'm almost 30 years old, and it's just like everywhere I go, I seem to feel like I don't fit in, and I feel like all the guys are either, especially in the Raleigh area where I live, it seems like all the men are either taken or they're not interested, or, you know what I mean? And I don't approach them either, because it's like, what if they're married or something? What if they're married or with somebody? Like, I don't like getting rejected. But yeah, I'm really just I'm just focusing on Jesus and God's will for my life right now, and I kind of say, if there's somebody out there for me, God will lead me to my husband in the right time. But if I'm not meant to be with anybody, then God will show me the way for that. That's how I take it. And yeah, I mean, if there's no one out there for me, then I guess that's just part of, I guess it was just part of God's plan. So I just want to say that if anybody else is struggling with being single and, like, you know, dealing with other family members that are single as well, like, just tell yourself this, you know, you still matter. There's people that still love you. God loves you. Jesus loves you. That's just coming from my belief. I know not everybody watching this video, I'm sure, is Christian, or, you know, a lot of people, I'm sure, are atheist, but, you know, like, you just have to realize that, you know, if people make you feel bad, then those are people you don't want to be around. And, you know, just because you're not in a relationship doesn't mean you're not worth it, because you are. But you just gotta be, and you know, proactive. And all I'm gonna say is, as well, just because you see a couple out in public holding hands, all happy, kissing, does not mean that they're happy. Just because you see a couple that looks unhappy and something doesn't mean they are not happy. You know, it goes both ways. But just tell yourself that just because you see a man with a wedding ring on, or a woman with a beautiful diamond ring with happy kids, does not mean they're happy. They could be, one of them might ask for a divorce the next day. One of them might be having an affair with somebody. So that's all I want to say. But I just want to say that if you're struggling like me with finding the right person that you want to be with, I understand the struggle of being single. I can totally relate, and I'm telling you right now on this video about how it feels. And I know how it feels to be broken up with. It really hurts your heart deep down, and there is no timeline for grieving over a breakup or relationship. Just like the grief of a death, of a passing of a family member, a parent, an animal. There's no timeline, and there's no timeline for breakup grief either. You just have to let yourself grieve until you feel like you've grieved enough to get over something, or get through it. So yeah, it's rough, but at the end of the day, I tell myself, you're fine, everything's gonna be great. There's people out there that are also single. So anyway, I'm gonna end the video there, but please like this video, subscribe for more videos. I usually do like 2-3 videos a week. Yeah, feel free to comment about your relationship experience, how you feel about being single. You know, if you've been broken up with, your experiences with dating, I'd love to hear it. Comments are open. And remember, I'm just gonna send a reminder to people, just with your comments, please be kind on the comments. No negative comments, no judging comments, none of that. Otherwise, your comments are gonna be removed. This is a safe space. This is a positive space. Feel free to share your stories, comments, but please, no disrespect, no judgment. Because this is a judgment-free zone. Love you guys. Bye.